SCO summit has concluded in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, while there was no bilateral between Prime Minister Modi and his Chinese President Xi Jinping, or for that matter with Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. He did have bilaterals with Russian President Vladimir Putin, as also, surprisingly, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Pakistan, of course, raised the Kashmir bogey yet again. But the question was, who was listening? No one quite is sure about that. Next year, India will be hosting the SCO summit. In fact, it starts holding the rotating presidency of the SCO starting today. As India's stature in the world stage grows, the question that's going to be asked is how long can we be friends with the United States and European partners and yet at the same time be part of groupings like the SCO, which have Russia and China in it, which are antagonistic to the West.
Amid global turbulence in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and China's saber-rattling over Taiwan, Prime Minister Modi landed in Samarkand in Uzbekistan for the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation summit. This is the first in-person SCO summit since the leaders gathered at Bishkek in Kyrgyzstan in June 2019. Prime Minister Modi shared stage with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin, two world leaders who are at loggerheads with the Western world. While addressing the summit, Prime Minister Modi said member states should grant each other transit rights to ensure better connectivity.
SCO की भूमिका बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। SCO को हमारे क्षेत्र में विश्वस्त, रेजिलिएंट और डाइवर्सिफाइड सप्लाई चेन्स विकसित करने के लिए प्रयत्न करने चाहिए। इसके लिए बेहतर कनेक्टिविटी की आवश्यकता तो होगी ही, साथ ही यह भी महत्वपूर्ण होगा कि हम सभी एक दूसरे को ट्रांजिट का पूरा अधिकार दें।
His reference was clearly to Pakistan, whose Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif was present at the SCO leader session. After the summit, Prime Minister Modi held one-on-one talks with Vladimir Putin. With Russia's war on Ukraine in its 7th month, India continues to maintain a neutral stance. While that stand had irked US and its allies in the early stages of the invasion, they've stopped pressuring India over its ties with Russia. After all, Russia is a key supplier of weapons and energy for India. Prime Minister Modi also came face-to-face with Xi Jinping for the very first time since the start of the military standoff in Ladakh in 2020. While there was no bilateral between both leaders, Xi Jinping extended his good wishes to New Delhi on taking over the chair of the SCO summit, which will be hosted in India next year. Putin and Xi, two of the biggest leaders at the summit, have taken a staunch anti-West stance. But Prime Minister Modi continues to strike a balance while advancing India's own interests.
I want to first go across to Abhishek Jha, our colleague who covers the MEA. He's joining us from Samarkand. So the SCO summit itself has concluded. There was bilaterals with Putin, with Erdogan. No bilateral or any kind of interaction with Xi Jinping, except the both of them were next to each other at the photo op that happened earlier today. Just walk us through how significant this meeting was, particularly in light of the fact that this is the first time that all of them were in the same room, whether it was Prime Minister, whether it was Xi Jinping, whether it was Shahbaz Sharif, the Pakistan Prime Minister, at a time when India now gets the chair, the rotating presidency of the SCO.
So, of course, Zakat, this was a very crucial meeting, especially for Prime Minister to address all the leaders, because India is going to host the 2023 SCO summit in back at home. In that context, it became really important for him to engage with all the leaders. We know a Turkish President Recep Erdogan, who is also at a bilateral with Prime Minister Modi, came at a very crucial point, because it was a very surprising bilateral that Prime Minister Modi just had with Erdogan, because it was not announced. But we know the kind of dynamics Turkey has with Pakistan and China. It was a thing that India, we were not expert that India and Turkey will engaging closely in order to have more strength. Talk about the technological export. If we talk about the naval shipbuilding aspect, electronic equipment manufacturing, all those high-end technology Turkey has, defense manufacturing Turkey has, and India can collaborate for its own need. Turkey. Uh, Apart from that, Prime Minister is also having a bilateral meeting with Vladimir Putin, where both will be discussing the bilateral relationship in the ambit of United Nations General Assembly, and also in the upcoming G20, where how these two nations should work
Yeah.
collectively in order to achieve the desired goals. Uh, SU Forum Prime Minister has to underline three major points while addressing the multilateral. One was the transit, that all the member countries should allow transit through their land route, so that market access could be allowed for all the countries. We know that in the past Pakistan not allowed India
Correct.
to have market access to Afghanistan through Afghanistan to Central Asia. In fact, so much so that Pakistan did not allow even humanitarian assistance. India was trying to send to Pakistan, to Afghanistan, go through its own land route, and for weeks and for months, the wheat consignment that was supposed to go and feed millions of Afghani people were waiting in Punjab because Pakistan was not allowing those trucks to pass through its land borders.
Okay.
So that in that context, this mentioning of Prime Minister Modi's remark that transit routes should be allowed to all the member countries is very important. Prime Minister has also tried to highlight the issue of health at global stage, and he said how traditional medicine could be a handy as long as those complete and holistic health is considered. And for that he has said that SCO member countries should also explore their own rich heritage and wealth of knowledge, so that the traditional medicine could also come as a part of healing
All right.
in a broader perspective. Prime Minister has tried to raise the issue of food security in the context of Russia-Ukraine conflict, naming that conflict and the aftermath effect which has disturbed the global food supply chain. PM said
Abhishek, we'll
that
leave it at that.
millets
Abhishek
could
Jha there reporting for us from Samarkand in Uzbekistan.